Branch of forestry dealing with the with prevention and control of forest damage is forest protection. Sizing position of forest land by nearby people one encouragement. Sizing position of forest land by nearby people is encouragement. Felling tree without permission of authorities is illegal felling. Okay, accidental fire caused by human carelessness is about 90%. Study of insect is entomology. Study of disease condition in plant is forest pathology. Any agent that cause disease is pathology. Pathogens. Pathogens include living agents like fungi, bacteria, nematodes, and virus. Fungi, bacteria, nematodes, and virus. Organism capable of causing disease in plant is pathogen. Measure of patho- pathogenicity is virulence, and process of disease development in plant is in pathogenesis. Expression of disease condition in plant synopsis. Symptoms. Visible structure of pathogen of disease plant is sign, and you can see visible or invisible disease condition in plant. Symptoms. Malfunctioning caused by continuous irritation of disease. Organism depends on other organism for growth. Parasite strictly depends on host. Obligate parasite. Parasite normally saprophyte but sometimes parasite. Facultative parasite. And organism growing on dead and decay tissue. Saprophyte. Organism growing on plant without taking food. Epiphyte. Study of disease in incidents in population with time. Epidemiology. Subnormal cell division or degeneration. Hypoplasia. And pathogenic disease are caused by pathogens like fungi, bacteria, and virus. Non-pathogenic disease are caused by adverse climatic factors and nutrient deficiency. Apparent expression of disease in plant unit symptoms. Symptoms may be both systematic and localized, and can see uh, major forest disease symptoms. All of the above. Symptoms referring to death of the plant. Necrotic. Major necrotic symptoms includes not anachlorol is not a necrotic symptoms. Wilt due to moisture deficiency during hot day. Physiological wilt. Wilt due to fungal attack causing permanent wilt. Pathological wilt. And localized necrotic lesion of bark and cambium canker. Physiological cause of canker. Decomposition of wood by fungi decay. त्यसपछि slowing down of plant development. Atrophic symptoms. Dwarfing and chlorless belong to atrophic, dwarfic र chlorless atrophics. Abnormal growth due to excessive cell division. Hypertrophic. Structure change restricted to certain part. Localized symptoms. Symptoms involving whole plant. Systematic symptoms. Death of infected tissue and color change in leaves. Necrotic symptoms. And you can see symptoms refer to death of plant. Necrotic. Hypertrophic symptoms may occur all. Tree disease sign include all. Branch cluster due to dormant bud. Epicormic branch. Main object of forest होइन त्यसो forest disease control measures should be environmentally sustainable and economically justifiable. and measure commonly applied in national forest silvicultural treatment and managed practice. Principle of forest disease control, both direct and indirect, and can see control method used mainly in nursery and plantation. Chemical control, indirect measure of disease control. Forest type more susceptible to disease, pure plantation forest, and silviculture control of forest disease. Outbreak of polyporous soriae in sal forest controlled by control burning. Use of harmless organisms to control pathogen, biological control. Root disease are caused by both soil inhabiting and root inhabiting fungi. Soil inhabiting fungus cause with insal Fusarium solani. Root inhabiting fungi cause root rot in Sisum Ganoderma lucidum. Root rot fungi transmitted through root rot control disease because both control measure भइहाल्छ and inoculation. Okay, inoculation of pine stump with Peniophora giganta is biological control. Dropping leaves followed by yellowing and drying wilt, and nursery pest feeding on rock and killing seedling cockjaffer. Pest cutting seedling at night and dragging piece cutworm. Pest cutting seeding at ground level cutworm. Pest defoliating seeding grasshopper. Wrong statement for damping up. Nursery should be raised uh, in heavy soil with overhead shade. Obloserampis spinicornis salborer, fast responsible for dying back of sal seeding drop, and important pest of Mycelia champaca, Uristylis puntigera, and decay affecting all cell wall component, white rot, and Piniophora giganta present colonization by form anosis. Armillaria melia generally attack both stress tree and couch stumps. Needle rust in chirpine, Coliosporium campanule. Seed treatment in leguminous species, cold water treatment. Mycorrhiza deficiency symptoms in pine, both stunt growth and pale yellow color, and damping up fungi thrive in all of the above. Frost factor responsible for dying back of sal seedling drop from most harmful to vegetation. Full frost, wilt disease in teak, Pseudomonas solanaceum, accumulation of cold air in depression, full frost, drop cause drying back of sal seedling. Early burning is done before the leaf set. Epips longifolia, bark borer of sal, sorry होइन, and चिरपाइनको होला. Important cause of damping of root rot of coir, Ganoderma lucidum. Wilt disease in teak, Pseudomonas solanaceum. Damping of in forest nursery, Rhizoctonia. Defoliator attack tick, Hybelia pura. Okay, agent attack pest externally and feeding on the predators. Okay, and you can see temperature that disturbs balance between respiration and photosynthesis, 35 to 40 हो. Excessively high temperature cause excessive transpiration leading to desiccation. From damage in nursery can be protected by natural cause of forest fire destroy about 5%. Predator of Hapalia maceralis, Cedria paradox. Leaf roller of Sisu, Epoderus sisu. Bark burrow of chirpine, Platypus biformis. hot rot in sal forest in caused by Hymenochaeta rubiginosa, pink disease in teak, rubber, and eucalyptus, Corticum salmonicolor, conifer bark beetles, Epilongifolia, grassy cutworm, damaging nursery plant, Agrotim sapsilum, त्यसपछि गएर ब्राउन कुबिकल रट इन कोनिफर लेन्जिट सेपियरिया एन्ड ओक विल is caused by ceratocystic fagaciarum and we can see Penifera giganta prevent colonization by farm anosis and root rot disease in khoy is caused by Ganoderma lucidum. Arminelia mellidia generally attack both A and B, and period between last spring forest and fire atom frost is frost fire season. Damping of prevention in nursery भइहाल्यो. Bud and trunk rot disease in Devdar, Piniophora luna, and disease symptoms in plant may be classified as necrotic, atrophic, and hypertrophic, and maximum defoliation in Dolberiaceae both A and B. त्यसपछि Blitox and Captain are fungicide, and forest fire caused by grazer, poacher, hunter is 95%. Fire triangles factor removed to prevent fire oxygen. Forest fire protection by constructing fire line, and most severe threat for forest protection in Nepal is uncontrolled grazing and okay, and forest fire spreading slowly with low flame. Creeping fire occur in forest with no ground cover or underground. Fire burning only ground cover, surface fire. Fire burning ground cover and underground, surface fire. And most common fire in plain of Nepal, surface fire. And fire spreading through crown of tree, ground fire. Control burning early in dry season, early burning. And incorrect statement regarding fire, broadleaf tree are more affected than conifer. Fire resistance species, okay, cheer, insect affect tree are classified as all of the above यो भइहाल्यो. And insect that destroy foliage in various way भने defoliation. 8 classification of insect that direct eat leaves भने both A and B. And insect that destruct flower, fruit and check ground is shoot borer. And insect that attack cambium sapwood is heartwood, wood borer. And forest and the working circle of forest management को working circle, forest area under same silviculture system and same working plan prescription. Coop, filling area in an annual series under clear filling systems. And periodic block, subdivision in filling series. Cheer pine forest 100 years rotation, 25 years regeneration for PS. Second protect PBR range 51 देखि 75 years. And is selection system suitable for forest with many age classes. And increasing filling cycle to tolerate rotation in selection system. Approach is clear, okay, filling. And copies with standard yield regulated by area. And you can see प्रिन्सिपल अफ सस्टेन यिल्ड, एनुअल पिरियोडिक हार्भेस्ट होइन, एनुअल पिरियोडिक ग्रोथ, कम्प्लिट सिरिज अफ एज ग्रेडेसन, ट्री अफ अल एज क्लासेस एलोइङ ओल्डेस्ट रिमुभल होइन, एक्सप्लोइटेबल साइज फिलिङ क्राइटेरिया इन इरेगुलर सेलेक्सन सिस्टम्स फरेस्ट, technical rotation for specific product requirement, eucalyptus poles, rotation of maximum age where MAI culminates, financial rotation maximize net return on capital, and normal forest matches manage objectives in selection forest, normality balance portion of age and size classes, D. Likert law, percent reduction in stems number from one diameter class to next in constant, and increment usually volume increment हुन्छ, and CI periodic increment percent divided by period, MAI average annual growth up to rotation, increment percent formula volume 30 years यति यति भएर यति, फास्ट ग्रोइङ स्पिसिज मिनिमम 10 मिटर क्युब पर हेक्टर पर इयर, पिरियोडिक थिनिङ इफेक्ट इभन एज स्ट्यान्ड इन्क्रिज अलमोस्ट अनएफेक्टेड, एक्युरेट इन्क्रिमेन्ट डिटर्मिनेसन युजिङ पेरियोडिक मिन इन्क्रिमेन्ट, एनुअल यिल्ड फर्मुला सेल्टर वुड वाइ इज इक्वल्स टु भी बाई पी प्लस आई बाई टू, and growing stock and normal growing stock formula using yield table, n is equals to m plus n plus o plus p by 2 using MAI, normal growing stock formula main MAI greater than yield table method, residual growing stock volume below exploitable diameter left standing, Munger formula, utilization ratio, rotation of normal yield to normal growing stocks, and a reduced area adjusted for stocking, okay, percent भन्दा 0.8 into 2 hectare is equals to 25 hectare, subsidiary crops material from thinning and pre final filling, and Vollmentor formula for annual yield known as formula of glorious simplicity, Simpson's modification applicable to fractional enumeration of growing stock, Australian method based on relationship between actual growing stock and normal growing stock, 102nd formula use utilization factor, and okay, utilization factor, Brandeis method based on tree number or diameter classes suitable for selection filling in tropical forest, Bailey method cultural filling aim maximum productivity ratio small medium old, okay, 20 30 50, Smith's safeguarding formula concept of selection yield, progressive yield management incorporate moderate silviculture techniques, Swiss method irregular forest remove annual increment from oldest classes, and rotation type technical for product specific use, physical for erosion prone site or roadside plantation, and financial considered time value of money, soil expectation value is equals to net income by interest rate होइन 1,20,000 डिभाइड बाई 0.09 ए भइहाल्यो. फरेस्ट म्यानेजमेन्ट इन नेपाल कम्युनिटी फरेस्ट्री 61% अफ टोटल फरेस्ट पपुलेसन बेनिफिट 35%, मिनिस्ट्री अफ मास्टर प्लान फर फरेस्ट्री सेक्टर इन्डोर्स 1988, ट्राजेडी अफ कमन्स ओभर एक्सप्लोइटेसन अफ कमन रिसोर्स, हाई अल्टिट्युड कम्युनिटी फरेस्ट्री च्यालेन्ज, एक्सट्रिम रिमोट एरिया, तराई फरेस्ट इस्यु, लस ड्यू टु नन साइन्टिफिक म्यानेजमेन्ट 5390 NRS पर हेक्टर, मेजर प्रब्लम एक्सक्लुजन अफ डिस्टिंक्ट युजर, and density classification हेर्ने हो भने डिग्रेडेड बिएस फुल्ली स्टक्स क्रप डेन्सिटी मार्जिन 50%, फुल्ली स्टक रिटेन्स 10,000 भन्दा बढी स्टिम्स पर हेक्टर, सेलेक्टिभ थिनिङ एभ्री 5 इयर, अन्डर स्टक्स होइन 1000देखि 2500 स्टिम्स पर हेक्टर, इन्रिचमेन्ट प्लान्टिङ, ओइल स्टक्स क्यान बी डेभलप्ड एज timber stand, and estimated gross annual increment conifer 2.8 meter cube per hectare per year, broadleaf 2.4 meter cube per hectare per year, highest growing stock Morang, lowest volume development region mid western development region, high sal forest 39% of the forest area, हिल साल फरेस्ट र कम्युनिटी फरेस्ट पार्टिसिपेसन 35% अफ पपुलेसन, एनुअल यिल्ड इक्जाम्पल नर्मल ग्रोइङ स्टक यति 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 भइहाल्यो। ओके, फरेस्ट म्यानेजमेन्ट इज डिफाइन के डिफाइन गर्छन्? द प्र्याक्टिकल एप्लिकेसन अफ द साइन्टिफिक टेक्निकल एन्ड इकोनोमिक प्रिन्सिपल अफ फरेस्ट्री, साइन्टिफिक टेक्निकल एन्ड इकोनोमिक प्रिन्सिपल अफ फरेस्ट्री। नर्मल इन्क्रिमेन्ट इज increment attainable by a given species per unit area on a given site. Growing stock is defined as the sum by number or volume of all tree growing in the forest. Length of rotation depends on yield table gives the summary of age and final yield. Yield regulation is Volmeter formula for calculating yield is based on volume. Working plan is a writing scheme of management aiming at continuity of policy and action and controlling the treatment of a forest. Rotation is the trinity of norms is normal growing stock is determined by material that a forest can yield annually or periodically in perpetuity भनेको सस्टेन yield. Rotation of maximum volume production occurs when CI is equals to MI, total increment up to a given age divided by that age is MI. Okay, absolute normal forest, virgin forest. Volmeter formula is based on growing stocks. Stumpage is volume of timber as it stand uncut in a forest. Normal increment in forest management means maximum attainable increment for a particular species at a site. Site quality index which is affect height. Rubber tree Hevia brasiliensis is native to Brazil. Rubber Brazilबाट हो. Species mixed with salt to protect against frost. Better method of sowing in area with uncertain rainfall is raised depth sowing. And geographical source or place of origin of seed भने provenance. And sunken nursery bed are kept in wet area. Forest management is not concerned with production of honey and hides. Forest area divided into part for filling, regeneration, age, class distribution, working circle, shelter wood system create age gradation in the crop, and time between successive main filling on same area filling cycle. Principle of sustained yield cut as much as net income. Rotation not relevant to economic forestry. Physical rotation used in combination with other both A and B. Preferred rotation if large old tree provide scenic beauty. Silviculture determination of maximum volume production, culmination point of MI. Volmeter yield calculation formula based on volume and increment. And normal forest, irregular forest volume proportion of young, middle old tree 1:3:5. Increment by volume into 100. And at culmination MI curve is below CI. filling time determined by management plan, and drafting and sustaining turning up plant origin atrophy, increment percent useful in fixing rotation, and maturity in irregular forest is fixed by exploitable size. Rotation defined as planned year for from origination to final filling, and Bibri, Bibri formula determines tree volume. Improvement filling usually applied to mix uneven edge forest, and maximum volume production achieved when CI and MI intersect. Wilding is natural seedling used in plant. Province area of origin from which seed are collected. Management plan include भइहाल्यो uh, peculiarity of forest differing from other enterprise, time, nature, and identity of product and manufacturing plant. Forestry enterprise need management plan because of long-term investment. General objectives of forest management होइन forest classified for purpose of description, record, administration, and management. Forest area organized with one silviculture system and working plan. Prescription, working circle. Forest forest area divided into several parts for filling, regeneration, age class, distribution, working circle. Subdivision of forest filling series to regulates cutting, coop per cutting section, and can see clear filling system create age classes in the crops, and shelter root system create age gradation in the crops. Area where annual cutting is done, shelter root systems, and part of forest set aside to regenerated during specific period one shelter root system. Fewer age classes in periodic plug when fewer number of periodic plugs, large number of periodic plug when even age crops. Crop due to filling kept under PEB periodic plug tini. Time between successive main filling rotation period, and longer filling cycle affect resultant crops more irregular. If filling series length increase, method of regeneration. Private forest managed on basis of sustained yield. Principle of sustained yield: cut as much as net increment. Principle for sustained yield: normality of forest. Basis of forest management covering experience and resource भन्यो भने sustained yield. Concept of rotation not applied in copies with standard size. Criterion for filling, regulation forest and selection system, and you can see rotation not relevant to economic forestry. Physical rotation used in combination with other. Okay, preferred rotation for scenic beauty, silviculture. Eucalyptus for paper wood rotation of maximum volume production. Determination of maximum volume production, culmination point of MI. Rotation considering time value of money, financial rotation. And you can see के भन्दाखेरि the tree of certain age mixed together constitute as gradation. The tree of all age in appropriate quality separate constant age classes यो चाहिँ हेर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. The sign of normality in very irregular forest is the proper distribution of tree of all ages. The attribute of normal forest which can be avoided from normality is normal, none of the above. The attribute of normal forest which makes it an ideal condition is normal growing stock. FD Lycott explained that the percentage reduction in the streams number from one diameter classes to the next is constant if the life of a crops MI and CI coincide only one times. If crops of or tree show low increment percent, that then it should be filled. And a fast growing species is one which yield at least 10 meter cube minimum per annum. Normal growing stocks, normal stock in clear filling system can be determined by the formula I into R by 2 into number of area. Normal growing stocks in selection systems can be determined by formula B is equal to V plus B1 into P by 2 into D into number of area. Normal growing stock in shelter root system determined by the formula can Morger formula. The main function in yield regulation are how much, where, and when to cut filling plan. Suggestion for us stand with many old growing stocks to bring it into normal condition. Remove all old crop in three filling. The objective of regulating yield are okay. In Saganath Forest Development Project, yield is regulated by area and volume. And uh, if if Tarai forest is managed under uniform shelter root system by permanent periodic bulb allotment, annual yield will be calculated by quota formula. The quota formula for yield calculation is P is equals to R into FPB by Fs. And the method in which neither the area nor the period of periodic bulk is fixed for yield regulation in regular shelter root system is called floating periodic block method, which is also known as quarter blue method. Floating periodic block method is quarter blue method. And you can see volumeter formula for yield calculation is y is equals to 2gs by r. Okay. And